I ate fried chicken once and I already got a blemish on my face. I'm breaking out on the side there too. Maybe it's just the side. I'm not gonna eat chicken anymore. I'm still gonna eat it.
It's more than you know.
I realized a lot within the last 24 hours. For instance, I've been talking about Saturn going through my 9th house, and just a lot has been going on in my personal life lately. You know, it's just been the show. But I came to some light yesterday. First and foremost, I guess for me, I realize just how different people's beliefs are and why my mom says never talk about religion and politics around people, because wow. These people can even be your family members. Yes, you know, I'm not gonna bash my family members at all because we all are built differently. We all have different energy, you know, but I've just learned yesterday that everybody has different beliefs and not everybody is going to take to what your belief is. Now, I personally, right now, my beliefs are in question. You know, I'm looking at everything, you know, I'm dipping my toe into multiple waters, okay? Waters. That was not English. Anyway, I'm dipping my toe into multiple waters, and I am finding that, you know, just based off the things that I've gone through in my life and where I am currently, like, I found that my faith was starting to dwindle. And I was told yesterday that, well, that's the problem. Your faith is dwindling. And I'm like, well, the reality of the spiritual journey, and I'm sure I'm not alone on this, is that people do have dwindling faith. That's why I believe that you should have, like, that's why the saying, you know, only have faith the size of the mustard seed, that's all you need, right? You know, because if you just have expansion faith, you know, then, like, not everybody's gonna have that. That's just not realistic, you know? And for me, I found that I've been working for 2 years, essentially, to, you know, get everything going. And of course, I know it's only been 2 years. Some people have been working a lifetime. You know, I'm not asking for $1 million right away. It would be nice. Look, I'm not gonna lie. You know, but I guess for me, it's like I would like to start living off the things that I'm doing, because I have been doing a lot over the last 2 years. And, you know, with that, I found that I do give a lot of my attention, a lot of my energy to my career. I said that in the last video when Mars was crossing over my IC. I think it's now past my IC. I know it's now over my North Node, which I'm not feeling it as much anymore. Thank God. I'm just noticing that, you know, my faith has dwindled a little, you know? And a lot of that was just realizing that my heart wasn't in a lot of what I was doing, you know? For instance, I'm learning that I am such a creative person. You know, I love to create, I love to make new things because I just can't not create. And I just find that, you know, when I create, I feel so much in alignment that that's what I'm supposed to be doing, that that's why I'm here. You know, that's why I'm meant to be here. That's what gives me a sense of purpose. And I haven't been able to put that into words prior to last night. It took me having a conversation with the universe to realize that I'm like, oh, like maybe that is what I'm meant to do, is to create, and create however I just seem fit. It's not an easy thing to do, you know, and I've just felt that I haven't had the support that I needed emotionally, you know. And then also when Mars was crossing over my IC, you know, a lot of things were happening at home. Like, I definitely did say that I was just like, I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to just, you know, move on, because I find that nothing's growing for me here in New York. And, you know, I find that I'm repeating the same cycles, you know. But if I learned one thing, I learned that in the community of spirituality, religion, whatever you believe in, we should have more compassion for people that are trying to find their way. It's going to be different than your way, obviously. We're all different people. We all have different energies. And I'm going to post a video, like right after I post this video or around the time where I post this video, that says something similar to that. And it's with Saturn the 9th, if you're into astrology. I've just realized that astrology has definitely helped me in my life, and it's definitely helped me through so many things. I'm still interested in it, but I'm not interested in it in the way that I used to be, to where I want to teach courses or I want to do all these other things, because I feel like my heart's not in it the way that it used to. And I think that's okay. You know, for me, I just want to move on and create new things. You know, I don't want to have to just subject myself to the same cycle of certain certain things, right? I want to grow, I want to evolve. I think that's fair. I'm just realizing that not everybody is going to support the things that you may have faith in or the things that you may believe in as well, and that's also okay as well. But one thing I've always found questionable, is people that say never question the universe, never question God. And I always am the one to question things. And that's just because of things that have happened in my life. I question certain concepts of the universe, and I did start reading the Bible, by the way, because I just want to understand. Like, I'm very interested in understanding spirituality through different religions, different divination systems. I'm very interested in learning all together so that I can be like, okay, there's a certain similarity there. Started reading the Bible, Genesis, wow. I'm not through Genesis yet because I'm listening to like an audio reading of the Bible, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like God in Genesis. I don't. Here's how I see it. Now, I know that God is all loving, God is compassionate, and maybe I am misunderstanding. So if anybody has read Genesis or has read the Bible and is definitely, there's more that I need to read, please let me know. Because my understanding of Genesis was just like this. Had that been a person, I would have left immediately. Had that been somebody of this earthly realm and they did half the things that God did in Genesis, they would have been out, they would have been on the news, they would have been on media, stay away from this person, they're toxic. I just find it, I find it a little bit confusing that like people are, I can understand now the fear of God. However, I do question, his ways. I do question, like, did it really need to be like that? Because some of the things he did in Genesis, I was like, did it really need to get to that length? Like, did it really need to, get there? Like, I understand you're all powerful, but I'm like, did it need to get to that extent? Like, because I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I'm just trying to better understand. That is really my intention. I'm not bashing God. I'm not bashing the universe. I just want to better understand, and maybe in the other books, I will come to see and I will come to understand him better. But, in Genesis, I'm not going to lie, wasn't a fan, didn't sell me there. I do question, I have a lot of questions based off of that. And then, I've just noticed, because I've been watching a lot of testimonies lately too, and I've noticed that people, the energy tends to be structured and it tends to be the same, rather to the spirituality, rather to the religion. It tends to be that people tend to be on this downhill slope, and then it's like the universe, God finds them. I watch a lot of New Age testimonies too. So a lot of people started within like New Age. They did like tarot or astrology or whatever, and then they took off and it was great, but then they found that they were not fulfilled, or they just weren't content, and then they ended up turning to Jesus, and then their life is now doing great. Most of them end up moving to Dallas. I just found on my journey that astrology found me. Never wanted to be an astrologer. Said that in the past video, I think. But I never really wanted to be an astrologer. Never aspired to be that. But I was going through a reckless era of my own, and I was in need of guidance. I couldn't say it at that point because I didn't even know what any of that meant. But prior to astrology finding me, I've always felt like I was being protected. I was being watched over by this higher force. I couldn't put my name on it at the time because I was living in Hawaii at the time, and I would always talk to my brother Tresczo about it. I would always say that, like, I feel like, I don't know if it's spirit guides, I don't know if it's ancestors, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm being watched over and I feel like I'm being protected. Not saying like, oh, if somebody does me wrong, they're gonna, it's not like that. I felt protected. I felt like I was being watched over and everything was being taken care of in that extent. In New York, I don't feel that. Don't feel that same energy that I felt when I was in Hawaii, which that's, when astrology found me and I started learning about relocation astrology and astrocartography, all started making sense. Astrology for me just helps me to make sense of the universe in a sense, but like, I do want to understand the creator. I do want to understand God in a sense. And, so I'm definitely dabbling into the Bible a little bit now. I'm not saying that I'm turning Christian. I didn't say all of that. You won't see me at church. No, I think I'm a little too out of their standards. I'm a too Aquarian for that. Not saying that I wouldn't ever go. I grew up going to church, but like, I don't think I'd go back now. Not for me. Just not the setting I want to be in, but like, I am reading the Bible to better understand the universe, to better understand God, who God is, but I understand also that I'm like, who wrote the Bible? Because, who's the author of the Bible? Because, that is not the original version of the Bible. And the Bible has been, it has been changed so many different times. I Googled it the other day and it said something around like 30,000 times it's been changed. So I'm like, what's the original message? What is the original wording? And I know it's not going to be in English either, because back in those times, English, I don't even think was the language of that land. So like, these are things that I'm starting to question. And even when I'm reading the Bible, like, there are certain things that I feel that are outdated, you know, like, but I can't sit here and act like, because I started reading Genesis and some of the things that played out in Genesis played out in my life as well. And it's a little scary, you know, but like, I'm just trying to better understand the universe. And also, you know, for me, like, I tend to have a lot of conversations with the universe, but I feel like it's just, I'm on this kind of like, what do you call it? The record. I feel like I'm just a repeated record, like a broken record. There you go. That's the word. I hope it is. Anyway, I feel like I'm a broken record sometimes, you know? Like, I feel like I'm speaking out to the universe and I don't really get anything back. I'll see the numbers. I'll see the synchronicities. I'll see Texas all over the place, you know? And I feel like I make moves and then, you know, it's kind of just held back. There are a lot of obstacles. And that's something I'm still trying to better understand, you know? But like, I'm also at a point where I feel like I've been listening to other people for so long in regards to belief in what I should do with spirituality, that I've done what they said to do and it has not worked out for me. And I'll tell them that, like, I don't think it's really resonating. But I found that, like, they'll be like, oh, well, there's something that you're doing. You're the problem, obviously, because it's working for me. But I'm like, I just feel like maybe those people aren't conscious enough that everybody's energy is different. I'm a Saturn dominant person. You know, what does that mean? Saturn is sitting pretty in my chart and she's sitting in a very dominant position. She's comfortable, you know, she's very comfortable in my chart. So, and my brother Trenton, he's a Jupiter dominant person. He also has Saturn dominant too, but he's Jupiter dominant as well. So it's like, with spirituality and things like that, that tends to come easier for him, or the things that he shares with me, like, I feel like that his path led him down that for a reason. I'm not, you know, dismissing what he went through, because, and that's why I told myself yesterday, like, I don't ever want to, you know, belittle or put down anybody else's experience. That's not it. But like, I know the things that I've gone through, and the things that I have experienced have been very hard. Certain things that I am not going to say online. Oh my God, no. You know, a lot of choices that I made. I'll admit it. You know, I made some bad choices. You know, and a lot of that was because I was not taking responsibility for my energy. I was not being responsible with the things that I was given, with my body, with my energy. I wasn't being responsible with it. And I understand that, but I hear all these stories and testimonies that, like, I've gone through the rough and God showed up for me and my life turned around and everything like that. And I'm like, I haven't had that moment where I felt like my faith has been restored. I feel like my faith has kind of just been on this kind of downhill point, you know, but like, maybe it's all the waiting game, because I have been in a season of isolation for the last 2 years, in a sense. Like, things have still taken off and things like that, but like, I've been fairly to myself and it's been a lonely journey, you know, but I don't know, you know. And if anybody's watching this video and is going through the same thing, please know that you're not alone, you know, first and foremost. But secondly, if anybody kind of knows or just like has experienced it and may have wisdom to share, like, definitely share it. And I just want to read it. But I say all this to say that the spiritual journey, nothing easy, not an easy walk in the park, not made for the weak. A lot is just being revealed to me at this time. I'm learning the reality of certain things and how most people don't really have compassion. I can definitely see how my heart has been hardened too. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I'm all compassion and all this too. You know, my heart has definitely been hardened, and I would love to tap back into my heart space and really get to what really fulfills me, what's really gonna drive me, what really gives me passion. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Aside from that, everything else is pretty good. I'm watching Big Brother. I'm really liking the season so far. I didn't like the first episode, I'm not gonna lie, because like a couple hours before the season aired, I looked at the cast and I was like, I don't know, it's really giving Passover season for me. But I actually like it so far, you know? Jared and Sari, like, the fact that they are really playing the house right now, like, they look alike, you know? I'm not gonna lie, to me they look the same, you know? Izzy caught on very quickly because, you know, she watched Survivor, but I'm like, to everybody else, I'm like, y'all don't see it? Y'all really don't see it? Just me? All right. You just Izzy too? Like, but anyway, that's really what I'm doing right now. And I guess I'm just preparing, you know, my room's a little empty right now, so I'm just preparing for whatever, you know? who knows, what's going to happen next. But that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully this gives somebody clarity, in some way. But hopefully somebody reaches out too and sees that, maybe I'm not alone. But I'm going to leave you with that. Ciao for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.